What's up, guys? It's your girl Miyagaga. So we're back on providing you some tips on playing Dayz. So there are actually a million ways to die in Dayz. So no matter how good you are, death will always happen at some point. So no matter how good you are on different games, like FPS games, like PvE games, death will always happen. I have this saying all the time, like if someone is being salty whenever they die, I always tell them like, dude, it's not Dayz if you're not dying. So whether it's a bandits, zombies, or just simply glitching through a railing and falling off a building, that will always happen. So there's actually a lot of map in Dayz. There's a lot of modded maps out there, like either it's Deer Isle, Pripyat, Banov, Chimsy, Takistan. You actually really need these steps on this video. You can definitely apply it along the way. But the most popular one is actually Chernerus, or what they call Cherno. So on this video, there are actually like 8 tips, like a few lists that you can do to prolong inevitable and to make sure that you will survive today in Dayz. Tip number 1. First things first, get some bandages. So, when you spawn, no matter map or no matter whatever map you are on right now, normally you will just have like a flashlight, a battery, pants, shoes, and a simple t-shirt. So after throwing the flashlight and battery on the ground, highly suggest drag your t-shirt into your inventory, right click on it, and tear the shirt into rags. If you don't have any bandages with you, these rags will actually save your life if you start to bleed, and you most likely will if you can't find any weapon to deal with all those zombies. So once your blood starts to flow, get to a safety and then use the rags to bandage up. Tip number 2. Get a weapon. Even it's a gun or a melee weapon, it will definitely help you deal with the zombies along the way. So your next task, aside from looking for food to eat and water to drink, you should find a weapon. So it might be hard to look for a gun since you also need to look for a specific ammo. So finding a melee weapon is your best option, trust me. So the firefighter axe, speeding axe, pickaxe, and machete should be at the top of your list. But in a pinch, anything will do as long as it's a melee weapon. So use this to quietly take out any zombies you came across. And make sure, aiming for the head if you want a one-hit kill. Tip number 3. Avoid known PvP zones. So in Dayz, there are actually different rules and regulations per server, especially those modded servers. But we all know that Dayz is known as a PvP/a PvE game. So player versus player, or a player versus environment game. So the best way to avoid getting killed by another player is to stay away from locations that other players go to kill each other. While we never condone killing on sight, you should expect to get shot if you show up in Berezino, Electro, or the Northwest and Northeast airfields. So the Northwest and Northeast airfields, those are actually the biggest military camp in Cherno if you're playing Cherno. And most likely there's gonna be a lot of people there because that's where all the high tier loot spawns. Those guns, those bulletproof vests, and those helmets. So while those areas are a great place, as I said, to find guns and ammunition, there's actually a solid chance you are not going to survive to enjoy it. So my best advice is try hitting up smaller towns away from the high traffic areas. So tip number 4, stay off the roads. So roads are actually made for vehicles, okay? So do yourself a favor and stay off of them. It's actually a basic common sense, honestly, but there are many players out there that sprint down roads that connect popular locations. Quite frankly, if you're doing this, after you read our advice not to, you likely deserve to be shot by a bandit. So which, lucky for you, will almost certainly happen. One piece of advice too, get yourself a compass and start taking the backwoods when you need to travel around. And tip number 5 is stay out of sight. Well, the best way to avoid being killed on sight is to remain out of sight. So if you want to survive, your best bet is to make sure that the other players don't know where you are. To do this, approach towns from forests and bushes, using backyards and fences for cover, and please, please, please don't sprint down the road. Tip number 6. Increase your in-game volume. There are a lot of sounds in Dayz, and being able to hear them is right at the top of the list of things that will keep you survive. So whether it's a footsteps outside, the sounds of 2 people chatting in-game, or even the reloading of a weapon, your ears are equally important as your eyes. If at all possible, get your hands on a top-notch headset that will allow you to fully experience the sounds of death and destruction around Dayz map. Tip number 7. Travel very lightly. So the most likely reason someone will murder you in Dayz is because you have something they want. So it might be a hat, a backpack, full of ammunition, or even that fancy looking Mosin that's all decked out. So if at all possible, travel lightly in order to minimize the risk of being shot out of jealousy. And actually, travel lightly will also help you. You know, increase your stamina in case you need to run or to jump or something else. Well, most people are still going to shoot you, but gives you a fighting chance, you know, if you're gonna travel very lightly. So if you don't need it, leave it for someone else. And last step on playing Dayz is lag out in a tree. So when your adventure is finally over, try to avoid lagging out in high traffic areas. Since your body remains in-game for about 15 or 30 seconds after exceeding the server, this depends on the server that you are currently playing as well. So there is actually a highly chance someone could walk up and kill you. So it will be best if you're just gonna head into a wooded area, then spend a solid minute making sure no zombies follow you before leaving the game. So yeah, that's it for today's Dayz tips, and I hope these tips will help you survive another adventure in Dayz. So don't forget to hit thumbs up if you like this video, and hit the bell and subscribe button. Whenever I uploaded a new video, you will be notified. Peace out, you all.